Willpower versus conditioning. It's an interesting topic that I wasn't actually being aware of, not present to it, while actually living this way. And I got introduced to the book High Performance Habits, and I'm going to show it to you in a little bit, by Brendon Burchard. And I took the assessment, I started listening to it while my runs, and some of it I know, some of it is good concept, some of us are good exercises that were there. And at some point he was talking about willpower, and it really was resonating with me, and I started kind of digging deep. Why is willpower versus conditioning? And it actually kind of dawned on me that, probably you can resonate to that. When we look at successful people, we maybe say that they're successful because, they've been working hard, they've got the success over the time, they've got maybe even money now, they've got this mindset, they are not afraid of speaking in front of public, they're not afraid of taking risks, and they just have that willpower. So as if we talk about high performance athletes, oh yeah, they do have that willpower. I'm just not one of them, that's it. They're just different from me, and the difference is they're just do things better, more of them, and they're just those successful people, and I just not feel like I'm one of them. So he was actually giving an example of successful people and referring to this concept, willpower versus conditioning. And when I was listening to him, High Performance Habits, Brendon Burchard, and I was listening to him, and another example came to my mind when I was reading a different book, The Power of Habits, when the author was given an example of the gold medalist, and I did not write his name, who won Olympic gold last Olympics in swimming. Help me out, what's his name? Who knows? And so both of them were talking about, it's not really about the willpower. So put yourself in the place of the successful person. And let's say because some of us like running or want to like running, I'll give that example. So if I say, well, it's interesting that I'm giving this example. Somebody this morning, straight looking into my eyes, said, well, I don't have that mindset as you do. It's kind of fun though, would be nice, but I'm just not you. And it's another example that I would say about that person who is a top earner in the company, for example. It will be nice, but I'm not one of you. I'm not you. And so the willpower versus conditioning, and it really made me think, well, first of all, if you're one of my clients, you probably have heard this question from me. I say, why? So really get down to why. If you say, I want to run 10K, why? Why do you want to run 10K? You say, well, I just want to feel that achievement that I've done it. Okay, that's great. Why do you want to feel an achievement that you've done it? You may say, well, because then I can do another things that are more challenging. Okay, that's great. You can do another things that are challenging, and then ask yourself a question. So why do you want to do more challenging things? So ask yourself at least 3 times that question, why, and really dig with the full authenticity why it is that important for you. What difference will it make for you to, let's say, run that 10K? What difference will it make for the people around you? And what will open up then? So know your why because that's the why that will be like the rail tracks that will keep you there, right? Or the engine and the fuel that will keep you there. That's actually a better example, the fuel and the engine. And then it really doesn't come to the willpower. I do not wake up every morning feeling, woohoo, I'm ready to conquer the world, I've got that energy, yee and I fit. No, I often wake up with a different mood. So it's the conditioning that I put myself into to follow through the steps. So, and when you do it long enough, you create naturally the habit of what we call willpower. So it's not having the willpower. Almost none of the people were born with the willpower. It's really a created aspect of your life. How do you create it? So let's say an example of 10K, all right? You say, I want to run a 10K. Actually, this lady this morning, she said, well, it will be nice, but I heard and it's just not me. She said it will be nice. So there's something which is of importance for her. 3 years ago, I was in the same place. Running hurts, and I will never do that. But it was important to me, and I knew why I wanted to run longer distances. For me, it was like, it's just my personal experience. The connection, if I can run marathon, then I can earn, let's say, it was for me $3,000, okay? Not the 6-figure income, something more or less. And so if I can do that, I can do another achievement in my life. So that was my why. And the conditioning, all of a sudden I saw a sign up at the gym for a 12-week program. And here's where conditioning starts. It's really finding the ways you can implement in your daily schedule so your success will be inevitable. So the follow through will be just what you do. You set up every aspect of your conditioning, including the accountability partnership. So in my 12 weeks training, here's an example. I knew exactly what it is, so the follow through is easy. Actually, no, it's simple, never easy. It's simple. There are two different things here. It's never easy, but it's simple. Simple because you know what to do. It's never easy. Your mind will always be talking you out of it because it's not comfortable. Your mind wants you to be comfortable, but it's simple, so you just go and do it. So my conditioning was in our run training, we had 3 days. Monday, speed training. Every week we will have instructions what exactly to do. Wednesday is a speed training. We will know what to do every week. Saturday is a long run. We will know how long we run by timing. 3 days. 2 other days from 1 to 2 miles every day, slow pace as long as you're moving. For me, it was actually 2,000 steps and over. That was good enough. And accountability. I did it with the group because I know if I don't show up, I might get a message. Where are you? And if I am not showing up, I actually report to my group and I do it on my own. So it was that accountability, and I know it's an important aspect in my life, the socially, to be in communication with a community of like-minded people. So it's what conditions do you put to follow through? And the 12 weeks passed and I ran my first half marathon. It did look like a willpower, maybe from somebody who is looking at me from the outside. It did take some willpower, but I have conditioned myself to get into the habit of doing what I was doing. So that aspect of willpower just showed up as somewhat habit. It's really a habit of acting, right? And then your willpower grows. With the Olympic swimmer, his example was, and it's very important, so on the due date, so you have a due date by when you're going to do a certain performance. So let's say we have 10K at the Plane a Balloon Festival, it will be September 23rd. He had an Olympic day swimming, right? So he knew when it's going to be. Is on that day of performance, is be who you have been. Don't change anything. You have conditioned yourself to that point. So do as you have been training. They even say, I heard my friends who perform at the sport gymnastics, they say, I don't change anything. I just put a different suit to look different, and I just go and do my practice. So with my running, no change of shoes, no change of clothes. Wear the same thing, do the same thing. Put the nutrition that you usually put in yourself before, during, after, and perform in the way you have been conditioning yourself to perform. And then push harder, because it's a performance day. All right, so let's see. And here's one aspect that was not mentioned in that book, I believe, but it's the aspect that comes to my mind because I face that every time. So let's say you know your why, you know what conditions you will put yourself in, you placed it in your calendar in the way that you're setting yourself to success, to follow through. When the time comes, don't think about it. Don't take time to evaluate or listen to the questions that your brain is asking. Just do it. Just act. Questioning, evaluation, readjustment, and other stuff that the brain will be involved will come later after you're done your performance, your action, your activity. When the time comes, follow through, trust your own system that you created. I notice when I question the system I created, it's a wrong time to question it because my brain is going nuts. You are about to do a 30-minute fast-paced run. Crazy! Actually, my brain said different word, but I'm saying out loud crazy. Just follow through because you know that the system works. Question it later. All right, so that's willpower versus conditioning. So I wonder from what I have just said, so what is the major appreciation or insight from this speaking? What example would you give from your life? Willpower versus conditioning. So what is it in your life that would be one of the examples, so the major example that you would like to share here in the comments, where you want to maybe re-evaluate how you put your conditioning into place? Maybe you already have it, so maybe some examples. Where do you implement it in your life? Willpower versus conditioning. All right, so know your why. Ask a question. What do you need to have in place to have your success inevitable? Use accountability, and when the time comes, act. I'm looking forward to your comments of your own example and your major appreciation or from this conversation. And it is June 18, I believe, and I have an invitation for you to jump into July. So jump into July, it's pretty much exactly what it means. It's a challenge. So this is what we will take at the month of July, and it's a movement challenge. So we've been talking about importance of moving your body. So that's what it is, especially July when we travel so much. We are busy with family activities, with travels, and it's just different routine. So what? The body still needs to move. It's not waiting. So how can we keep moving in the different schedule this summertime, this July? So it's a 1 month, I believe, challenge where we will move every day. And I don't know yet the details because the Health Coach Institute is putting this challenge. What I know that it's free. You can sign up under the link that I sent to you. What I know that when you sign up, you will receive details how to get into the challenge. I already have mine as of today. And what I also know is the challenge for July to keep you moving. Very simple, nothing complicated, should not take any of your really time out of your daily activities that you're going to do in this busy July. So if you're joining, please put a quick comment under this video and click that link, join. Let me know that you joined so we can have a group of jumpers into July and have this amazing challenge together. So thank you so much for watching. I look forward to your comments and we'll see you in the community soon. Have a blessed Monday.